No talk of mourning here, rather celebration. In the mining village of Stainforth, home to the last of South Yorkshire's deep coal mines, the bitterness feels as raw today as it did almost 30 years ago. Former miners who lived through the year-long strike are not joking when they say Lady Thatcher's death has brought them cheer.
I were happy, and I make no apology for that. And I make no apology for this simple reason. There's an old saying that you don't speak ill of the dead. For this woman, I'll make an exception. She shed no tears when she killed my village. She shed no tears when our kids were thrown on scrap heap, when their kids were thrown on scrap heap, when their kids have had nothing but a future of drugs and crime. No thought whatsoever, so why should we shed a tear for her?
After a year without wages, Britain's miners returned to an industry that would never recover. Hundreds of thousands lost their jobs as pit after pit closed. As a former miner's wife and campaigner against the closures, Sheena Moore says that Thatcherism is to blame for what's left of the former coalfield communities.
The sheer depth of deprivation and despair and hopelessness she has left behind in these communities for the majority of youth and young people, second generation unemployed people. There is no work in these areas other than part-time, low-paid employment, underemployment. So yeah, it cuts very deeply.
There are some people here, of course, who do mourn the passing of the former Prime Minister and credit Thatcherism for enabling them to buy their council house or prosper with a small business. But knowing how raw the miners' strike wounds still are, they express their views quietly and privately. As they pay their own respects on the day of Lady Thatcher's funeral, many others here will raise a glass and express their pleasure at her passing. Mike McCarthy, Sky News, South Yorkshire.
The controversy surrounding Margaret Thatcher's time in office helped to fuel a huge